Welcome to Health Club with Julia. I'm your host, health coach, and registered dietitian, Julia Campagna. I'm on a mission to bridge the gap between looking your best and living your life to the fullest. After years of over-dieting, struggling with disordered eating, and destroying my social life, I finally found how to reach my dream physique without sacrificing the things I love. Now I'm sharing all my strategies and education with you. We'll be talking all things health, including hormones, metabolism, and lifestyle to help you cut out the confusion and start living. So get cozy and join the club. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to the Health Club with Julia podcast. I am super stoked about this episode in particular because, little announcement, we are going on YouTube. Yes, I'm going to be putting all of my podcast episodes on YouTube. This will be the first one. So everybody who's watching this podcast, hello. I feel like this is more like chatty vibes. Like, I always felt that way doing just a podcast with just my audio, but now I feel like even though there's nobody around me and I'm still just by myself here recording, I just feel like, I don't know, with a video presence, I feel like I get to connect on a different level. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm really excited about it. I used to have YouTube actually. For all my OG followers, you would know. My last video I think was uploaded like 4 years ago or something like that. I think I only had like 3 videos that I ever actually put up. They were more like vlog style videos. But I really enjoyed it. I just couldn't stick with it at the time. I was still in school. I was just doing a lot, and like, not that I'm not now, but I'm really wanting to focus on this again. And I think YouTube is going to make a comeback. And so I want to be part of that. And I definitely want to do some like vlog style YouTube things and like what I eat in a day, or just like get ready with me, whatever. I don't even know. Like, I haven't thought that far ahead. So if you want to see something like more long form stuff that I could put on YouTube, please let me know. DM me over on Instagram, or even leave a comment on this podcast on Spotify, or because this is going to be on YouTube, I forgot already, leave a comment on the YouTube video. Wherever you can comment on something for me, let me know what you want to see on YouTube, because I definitely, like I said, want to start getting back into that. It probably won't happen until more 2024, maybe like January, February of 2024. I still have some things that I need to think about and just make sure I got all the things I needed for it, but it's definitely something that I'm going to start doing. So we'll see how, bear with me, we'll see how consistent I am with it. Like I said, had a YouTube, but I was never very consistent with it. So I definitely want to take this on, but bear with me, at least in the beginning. Like, I don't know if I'll get videos up every single week or anything like that. Like, I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just getting used to it. But definitely let me know any ideas that you have. But for now, until I really get into it, I am going to just put all of my podcast episodes on YouTube. So if you are somebody that likes visuals, if you like to watch YouTube, feel free to listen to my podcast on there now as well. But yeah, that's just a little announcement for what's to come in 2024 with my podcast, is spinning over to YouTube and then also expanding my YouTube. So excited about that. But let's now dive into today's episode. And I want to talk today about the problems with like fad diets, quick fixes, all those kinds of things. And I feel like more and more, luckily, it's a good thing, people are starting to like talk about, you know, fad diets and them being actually just fad diets. But there's still a lot of people that see these things and try them and basically wasting their time on it. And so for those who don't know, first of all, a fad diet, quick fix, what I'm talking about are things like Atkins diet, Whole30, keto. I mean, keto can be used for medical purposes. It is used for epilepsy. That was like the reason for starting keto. But there's a lot of people, like I would say majority of people who do keto don't actually have a medical reason to do it. So that falls into, you know, fad diet, low carb diets, which is also keto basically, South Beach diet, the carnivore diet, things like detox teas or greens powders, like all these little things that people are like grabbing onto and hoping for the best with their diet. And so that's kind of what's included. That's what I mean by fad diets and quick fixes. And So picture this. This is how I feel like it usually goes. So you hear about this new thing, right? Some influencer on Instagram or somebody you know talks about this thing, whether that's, again, intermittent fasting, Whole30, South Beach diet, carnivore diet, keto, whatever. You hear about this thing and you're like, oh my God, I need to try that. I need to do that right now. I need to start. What information can I get? How do I start this thing? And you kind of get this like shiny object syndrome because the influencer you follow does it, or this person or that person says that it works, and you're like, okay, this is going to be magic. This is what I need. I've been trying so hard, and let me try this because this has got to work. And so you believe in this thing that people are promoting or this new thing that you're seeing. You're like, yep, that's for me. So you try it for a few weeks. And like I said, you're just kind of like stuck in this place where you're just trying anything that comes at you. Not necessarily because you know that it's going to work for you, but it's just something new. It's something that you haven't tried because you've tried so many things with little success. You're like, okay, this new thing has to work, guaranteed. I know it's going to be it's going to be what I needed. And this usually stems from because we've quote unquote tried everything, we get so desperate to find an answer to help us lose the weight. So you're willing to do whatever it takes. You're willing to try these new things. Even if it's not exactly what you need, you think that it's magic for you. And so you're like, yep, I got this. It's going to work. It's going to work this time. You hope and pray that this thing is going to work because you've tried other things so many times and it doesn't seem to work. So you cross your fingers and you hope that it works. And while with these things, you might see some results. But the thing is, most of the time it's short-term results. So for example, somebody does keto and they cut out mostly all of their carbs and they're like, oh my God, this is great. I'm losing weight. This is fantastic. You tell all your friends, you tell your family members, yeah, I'm doing keto. I've lost this weight. You should try it. You get other people to try it with you. And it's going really great for a while. Now, the thing is, you get to a point then where you're like, you know, that bread looks delicious. I really want some of that. So you have some of it. You're like, it's just one day. It's fine. Until eventually, slowly but surely, you start to implement these carbs back in because you want them, because they taste good, because you're craving them. And so eventually you just end your keto diet, but you've still made all that progress. So you're still like, all right, it's fine. Now I'm just going to maintain it. But then you gain it all back. And that is where the problem lies, is that you think that this thing is going to be magic and is going to keep off this weight forever until you go back to whatever you were doing before, and all of that progress that you made doing this fad diet returns. And so it's kind of this vicious cycle because then you're like, okay, I have to either start again. So for the example, start keto again, or try a new fad diet, or try something else. And so you try it, you might see some progress, and then it goes away, or you stop seeing the progress and eventually it just stalls. And it's just this cycle that keeps going round and round. So why is this happening? I want to discuss the problems with it and why you might be caught in this cycle. So I think the number one problem with fad diets is this rebound, this regaining. And regain is real. Humans want instant satisfaction instead of future satisfaction. So all these things with fad diets, especially more of these quick fixes, not so much fad diets because things like Whole30, keto, carnivore diets, you could do them for a long period of time. So it's not necessarily an instant satisfaction thing, but a lot of like detox teas, greens powders that people hold on to and think that is the end all be all. And side note, that was me. I am no shame because I used to preach greens powders every single day that it was like the golden thing. And I haven't had greens powder in like 3 years and I probably won't ever go back. Like I don't need it. I don't need it. And it's not magic. And so that was side note. Not shaming anybody because that was me. I literally preach that all the time. But you try all these things for this instant satisfaction. You're like, yep, this is going to give me results now. Like I'm looking to see results in 1 month. In 4 weeks, I'm going to drop 15 pounds. It's like, okay, that's great, but What about your future? What then happens after you've reached that goal? A lot of the times you regain it back, and that is the big problem with fad diets and quick fixes. If we lose 10 pounds in 1 month, it's a success, right? But a lot of the time it rebounds, we gain it back faster, even faster than we gained that weight the first time because we're rebounding from this. And so instead of losing 10 pounds over the course of, let's say, 3 months, you try to do it really fast and then rebound. Whereas if you just took the time and extended out your time frame, so instead of 1 month or 4 weeks, let's say 3 months, you want to drop that 15 pounds. You're going to probably work on other things that are going to help you maintain that longer than if you just worked on this quick fix thing that's going to give you that instant satisfaction. And there's even, I mean, this isn't like a lie. There's been studies done on weight regains after certain like diets and things. And so I'm using the example of semaglutide. So if you don't know what semaglutide is, I'm sure everybody listening to this would know what Ozempic is. There's the other one. What is it called? Starts with an M. Not Ozempic. Oh my God, I can't think of it. This is gonna annoy me, so I'm pausing for a second because I have to look this up. Oh my God, it's not even coming up. Okay, well, I don't know. It's not coming up for me. So this is to annoy me now, and I'm gonna have to like put it on Instagram on my story or something like, oh, I found the name of that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Semaglutide, things like Ozempic and other things of that nature are considered semaglutide. It is used primarily for diabetes. That is what it is meant to be used for. Nowadays, people are using it for weight loss, even if they're not even pre-diabetic, even if they don't have any issues with that at all, they're using it to lose weight. And the problem with that is this regain effect. So in a study of weight regain after semaglutide, so they had, I forget how many exactly participants were in the study, but 17.3% saw weight loss. After 17.3% weight loss participants, they regained 11.6% of that back after stopping the semaglutide. So when you think about it, they still lost weight, but they only lost 5.4%. Versus, again, they initially lost 17.3%. They're all like, woo, I lost weight. I lost 17% weight. Amazing. I feel great. Stopped it, gained 11.6% of that back. It's a real thing. And I think what goes with that, so segmenting into going deeper into that problem, is that you're not learning sustainable habits. You're not learning what it takes to lose the weight. You're just using this fad diet to do it for you. So again, semaglutide, really don't need to do anything. It does it all for you because it slashes your appetite. You don't want to eat, so people literally don't eat on it. And then they're like, yay, I lost weight. Then they stop it and their appetite comes back because they're human beings. And so they start eating again, and your body's like, oh, yes, food. Love that. Have more food, gain more weight. So there's some things that you don't need to do anything, and just that fad diet does all the work for you. And so you're missing the key piece, which is habits. What happens when you stop that fad diet? What are you going to do? If you haven't learned anything at all while you're losing weight with this fad diet, how do you expect to keep that weight off when you stop it? It's a valid question. The answer is that you probably will gain some of that back. You probably won't be able to maintain that. Now, to an extent, yeah, weight gain after any sort of diet is pretty normal. You can't stay in a diet forever. So to have some is not bad, but I'm talking about like when you lose all this weight and then you gain it all back. And the problem is that people don't learn what they need to do. They don't focus on getting movement in. They don't focus on the right nutrition. They don't focus on their stress management or getting proper sleep or all the other things that you need to be doing to help you lose the weight. They don't focus on that because just by walking every now and then and having some veggies every now and then, because they're on this diet, it's doing most of the pull for them. It's doing most of that work. So they don't necessarily need all of those habit fixes. So then you get off and you don't have any new habits in place. You haven't learned what it actually takes to lose weight. And so you just gain that back. And so that's a really big problem. And there's a lot of statistics saying that regain happens after fad diets. And another problem I see with fad diets is this restriction piece. So you cut out food groups. So for example, keto, you're cutting out carbs. Carnivore diet, you're cutting out everything besides protein, basically. On semaglutide, you don't have an appetite, so you're not eating hardly anything at all. No matter what food group, you're just not eating much. So you go through this restriction period. You cut out food groups, you restrict yourself, and it's not sustainable. Again, sustainability is a key piece in this. It's not sustainable, so then eventually you want to add those things back in. And again, you have this problem. So you're just thinking like, oh, in order to lose weight, I need to cut out XYZ or eat less, which can work short term, but you need to know how to then include those things back in, how to then maintain that long term. If you're not learning how to maintain those results and properly increase your intake again after a diet, you're going to gain it back rapidly. And so again, I go back to human beings want instant satisfaction rather than future satisfaction and having things stick long term. And so I want to talk about now the solution. What is the solution for this? If I'm saying fad diets are a waste of your time, a waste of your money, what do you do? Number one is play the long game. Dieting and weight loss is a long game. It is not something that will come instantly. You might see results some results happen short term, but the more and more you keep going, the more and more results you will get. And so you have to be patient with that. That is the way that weight loss, sustainable weight loss, I should say, should work, is that you see progress throughout the entire journey instead of having all the progress happen at one time. It will happen over time. So you need to be able to play the long game. First and foremost, be patient. And if you're somebody who struggles with patience, you got to work on a mindset around that, because that is ultimately holding you back big time. So play the long game. Number two, do the work that will actually change your life instead of just seeing these short-term results. Like I said, with a lot of these fad diets, yes, you might see short-term results, but long-term, it's not going to make an impact on your life because it's going to all come back. You're going to regain the weight. You're going to then feel like shit again. You're going to wish that you did things differently and wish that you were in a different spot and hate how you look in certain clothes. So that will all happen again. So you have to do the work that's actually going to matter. So like I said, learn more about nutrition. What do you need specifically for you? How much do you need? What kinds of foods do you like? What kind of foods do your body not like? Are you getting fruits and vegetables in every single day? At least one serving of both. At least, if not 2 servings of both every single day. Are you getting protein at every single meal? Are you snacking mindfully? Are you subconsciously snacking throughout your day? What do your daily habits look like with your nutrition? And learn more about how to improve your nutritional habits. So that's number one. Number two, your movement. What are you doing on a day-to-day basis? Are you getting to the gym at least 3 days a week? Yes, you can still make a lot of progress doing it 3 days a week. There's nothing wrong with that. But going to the gym, doing some form of weight-bearing exercise. I know that not everybody loves to lift weights, and I totally get that. There's things that I don't love to do either. But there's so many benefits to lifting weights even as you age. People who are in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, if you're able to, should do some form of weight-bearing exercise. It will help with bone density. It will help with maintaining your muscle mass as you age. It's very good for your overall health. And I'm not saying go to the gym and lift 300 pounds. I'm saying go to the gym and do some form of weight-bearing exercise, whether that is 2 pounds, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, or 100 pounds. Go and do some form of weight-bearing exercise. It's going to help you. For everybody who wants to, quote unquote, get toned, this is your answer. For everybody that wants to feel better in their skin, weight exercise. It's going to help. It helps us so much. So you should be going to the gym or even at home, just doing some sort of weight training anywhere at least 3 times a week. And on top of that, what are you doing on a day-to-day as far as movement goes? Are you sitting at a desk from 9 to 5 and then in a car for 2 hours a day? Are you getting on a walk every day? Are you being mindful of getting up and moving every now and then? I'm somebody who sits at a desk all day long, but I make sure I get up every now and then and just walk around. Go get something from my bedroom. I work in my home. I work from home. So go get something in my bedroom. Go do a load of laundry. Go wash the dishes. Go make food. I'm getting up and trying to do something every now and then, and I'm conscious about trying to get up. And then because I'm so sedentary in my job, I also try to go for a walk. I'll say, to be honest, 5 days a week. I know that there's some days that I don't get on a walk, and that's okay. You don't have to go for a walk every single day, but be mindful about your daily activity. So that's number 2. Number 3, what are your sleep habits like? This one, it gets me because I feel like people don't take it seriously enough, and sleep affects so much. So if you're having shitty sleep, if you are sleeping less than 7 hours a night, you need to change that. And I know some people have kids and it's really hard. And yes, those things not necessarily can they change. You can still improve your sleep hygiene, not like showering. I don't mean hygiene by that, but I mean like nighttime routines and sleep hygiene, which will help your sleep improve. So you should be getting minimum of 7 hours of sleep. And it needs to be quality sleep as well. Not just like, oh yeah, I went to bed at 9 and I woke up at whatever, so I got my 7 hours, but how many times did you wake up throughout the night? What is your quality like as well? So sleep, one that's highly, highly overlooked. Same thing with stress. I know you probably know stress management is so important because everybody says it, but it is. It really, really is. It can lead to inflammatory responses in your body. It can lead to higher cortisol. It can lead to imbalanced hormones. It can lead to so many things. So you need to take care of your stress. We live in a society nowadays where people are stressed 24/7. But you need to find a way to alleviate that daily. I have my clients work on stress management every single day. I have them tell me, what are you doing this week every day for your stress? And they tell me. And I'm like, okay, great. Let's work on that every single day. Because like I said, we live in an environment that is so high stress. Every single day you need to do something, at least for like 5 minutes minimum, that's going to relieve some of that from you. So basically, my problem number 2 is that people don't actually do the work to see sustainable change and actually change their life. So those are things that you need to be working on. The third solution is be patient and consistent. I already talked about being patient and how you have to learn patience. But also being consistent is really important too. If you do really, really well all week, and then the next week you fall short, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to start again on Monday, and then the next week you do well, the next week you fall short. If you're up and down and there's this roller coaster, you're going to have roller coaster type of progress as well. If you want something that can stick long term, you have to be consistent with it. And along with consistency goes sustainability. If you're not doing sustainable habits for yourself, you're never going to be consistent with it. So those two things have to go together, but learn to be really consistent with the things that you need to do daily. And my fourth kind of thought process with a solution for you is to get a coach if you need it. I'm not here to like plug myself, even though, hey, shameless plug, if you need somebody, I'm here for you. But I actually mean that because some people can't do it on their own. Some people, 1, don't know what to do or where to start. Some people, 2, don't have the accountability and they just can't seem to hold themselves accountable. And that's okay. That's what a coach is there to help you with. So we are there to help you understand what you need to be doing, why you're doing those things, holding you accountable, making sure you're doing the things day after day. So if for somebody that knows that you cannot do it on your own, get a coach. if you really want to change your life and you want to work on these things long term, get a coach. You're going to have a return on investment. Coaching or just investing in your health in general, no matter what it is, you're going to get some return on investment with that because it's impacting your health, it's impacting your life, it's improving your quality of life. So if you don't know what to do, where to start, how to hold yourself accountable, get somebody that's going to help guide you through that. So those will be my 4 solutions. Wrapping that up is play the long game and be patient. Do the actual work that you need to do and learn along the way what you need to do to actually change your life. Be consistent, and then if necessary, get a coach or somebody that can help guide you through that. But fad diets are a waste of your time. More than not, people regain all the things that they work so hard to lose. And because they're not learning what to do, they're just relying on this fad diet or this quick fix to help them with that. That's not going to alter your life. You need to learn the processes of changing your life to actually make an impact. So I hope that this was helpful. If you're somebody who is in a cycle of fad diet after fad diet and nothing's working and you're regaining everything back and you're just feeling stuck, reach out to me. I'm here for you. I just want to talk about what's going on and what the solution could be for you. Because I don't want you to feel stuck. I don't want you to be stuck in this cycle because I know that it sucks. So I hope that this was helpful. Also, going back to YouTube, if you have anything that you're like, you should totally do this, let me know in either the comment section on this podcast, comment section on YouTube, DM me on Instagram. Would love to know your thoughts. I'm very excited about that. So stay tuned for more videos to come on YouTube. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those. But that concludes today's episode about fad diets and quick fixes. Hopefully you learned something. And as always, I am here for you whenever you guys need me. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Health Club with Julia podcast. If you loved the episode, share the podcast and tag me, and subscribe so you don't miss any further episodes. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM. Thanks for being a part of the club. See you next time.